The game tonight, how you feeling?
Feeling great.
Good, because this one's on national TV and you gotta crush it.
Shouldn't you be telling me it's just another game?
Oh, no, that's the coach's job. My job is to tell it like
Rook,
it is.
big game, man. Don't let it get to you.
Got you.
And this is a showcase.
A showcase for what?
For you. You play well tonight and you dominate the news cycle. That's where you win awards, Che. That's when you get better deals. You build up your profile.
Oh, I appreciate that. But you know what? I'm gonna just play my game. I don't want the other stuff to get in my head.
Hey, you do you. I'm just here to tell you about the PR ramifications. Oh, I gotta take this. Just think about what I said, okay?
Yeah, I got you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, I'm on my way.
Coach, what up, man?
What's up?
Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA. The 2K Sports pregame show.
Tonight, it'll be the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Chicago Bulls at United Center. For Chicago, they must be satisfied with the way things have gone for them over the first few months. They've played with confidence and composure and have won more than their share of games. We've talked about...
And the Hawks with a confident look as they go into the arena earlier on, looking for a win on the road. And a quick look here at some of the numbers for Carter.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards for effective field goal percentage. And it shows you how confident he's playing right now.
A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Hunter at the 3 with Collins at the 4. Teague out there at Bembry, and it's Capella in at the 5, roaming the paint. And for the Bulls, Levine at the 2 with Porter at the 3. Carter out there with D, and it's White in at the point guard position. You've seen a lot of teams over your time that have been terrific starting a season, then just fall apart second half of the season.
Have you seen it, Kevin, happen with teams that have really good veteran players? I've seen it with young teams.
Yeah, unravel. I mean, it's painful to watch. None come to mind, but I'm sure you could start to find teams that are 10 wins below from one half of the season to the next.
And some of that we know. It can happen with injuries to a star player and you just are dismantled. But a lot of times...
Like the Pacers with Oladipo.
Yeah.
They were a difference in the last quarter of the season.
That's a great call, Kevin. But a lot of times it happens with young teams because if you get off to such a hot start and it's a bit unexpected, there's going to be a lot more attention on you. And you start to feel like, oh, well, we've arrived. This is easy. We've done this for 35, 40 games, no problem. Well, the league figures you out. And a lot of times young teams that have early success are probably the most susceptible to this lemmings kind of falling off the cliff type of deal. So that's how you draw it up right there. A screen to shed the defense, a quick move to the bucket, and you get the lay-in.
Teague up top. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Here's Bembry. He's coming off a 13-point game against Miami.
Let's us not forget about the work on the glass, Kevin. His effort level was a 10 that night out of 10.
And you can argue this is White at his best. Just an absolute terror in transition.
The Hawks have gone 2 or 3 here to start out the game. White against T. Now the pass to Collins. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
And he's really been working to get those looks, and it's starting to pay off here early on.
Outside, White. Back to Levine. Rebounded by Capella.
Shot didn't fall, but that play worked well to get a good look at the basket.
Yeah, an efficient offensive possession. They found the look that they wanted, just didn't go in.
The 19-foot shot and off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. White's got his second basket of the night. And so it's Teague with it. He'll bring it up for Atlanta. Trailing by 2. Collins with it, and it's Carter picking him up. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Out of Wake Forest, John Collins quickly emerging as a top-notch scorer. A tremendous finisher, and his range extends out beyond the arc.
And players with big numbers on losing teams can be accused of empty stats. So, Greg, you take Collins's with a grain of salt?
You look at his field goal percentage, high 50s. He's not just a high usage player. He is highly efficient. And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
T kicks to Bembry. Pass to Capella. Here's Collins. He can't get it to go. Some solid defense there from T. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, I briefly spoke with Lloyd Pierce. There are few players more gifted athletically than Zach LaVine. The coach made it clear their focus is trying to contain him offensively. Good luck with trying to keep him between the ball and the basket.
Thanks so much, David. Bembry shot good.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Outside, White. Here's D. And the layup's good off the glass. D's got 6.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
Bembry the pass to Collins. Looking for Carter. He gets it there. To the paint. Here's Levine. And Levine throws it down.
And a solid playmaker. White has a great sense for when he should look to give it up.
The Hawks trail by 7. Outside Teague. Pass to Bembry. That's good. And so Teague with the assist. Bembry's got his second bucket.
Now, I don't know if you would consider this, Kevin, but he's got such a nice touch around the rim. Maybe you foul him there?
And it's Chicago scoring again.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
And Atlanta calls their first time out of the game. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of Miami.
Yeah, I mean, their execution at times was flawless, but they also made some mistakes that ultimately did them in.
Well, they had the home fans worried for a little bit. I know that.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Lowry Markkanen's checked in for Wendell Carter. Chandler Hutchison comes in for Porter. Valentine's checked in for Levine. And Zedaransky sub in for White. And then for Atlanta, Damian Jones is checked in for Capella. Labissiere comes in for John Collins. And it's Reddish in for Bembry. Right wing. Hutchison passes to D. No good that time. And it's the Hawks taking it the other way. Their last encounter was in Atlanta.
Yeah, you saw the communication breakdowns defensively, just giving up way too many open looks.
Yeah, sometimes you can play good on-ball defense, but it's the help defense that makes you elite. And on that night, nobody rotating and not a lot of help.
And the layup falls. D's got 8.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And Coach Jim Boylan agreeing to a multi-year extension with the Bulls this summer, Greg.
And taking that interim tag off his title as head coach, Boylan, with over 30 years of coaching experience, afforded the opportunity to continue developing this young core.
Brent, offensive versatility all the rage now. Which guards do you think do the best job of generating offense with their back to the basket?
I don't know so much as these guys are playing with their back to the basket, Kevin, so much as they're finding ways to get the ball without a dribble at about 15 feet away from the basket. So one dribble, they're at the rim.
Right.
They're very effective at the mid-range Chris Paul and DeMar DeRozan have had tremendous efficiency from those areas on the floor. So those are the kind of players that put some pressure on your defense because they're starting their offense so close to the basket, and they're effective with which they do it. Not on the post, not on the perimeter, and they're finding ways to be impactful.
Passes it to Reddish. .102 left to play in the first. Count it, good. Hunter's got his second bucket of the night.
With a number of moves and shots to choose from, Hunter is scary. Nice bucket there.
Oh, he's going up for the alley-oop here. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
Well, if there were 4 or 5 boxes to check in terms of the game plan tonight, they might have checked 6. I mean, they're doing everything out there.
There's the pass to Reddish. Got a piece of it. They get it back. Jones, the pass to Labissiere. 4 on the shot clock. Tries again. And too long on the shot.
Maybe a time to rest him right now. Just give him a bit of a breather. Try to help him get back on track.
To the inside. D. It's good again, and an excellent 7 for 8 shooting night so far.
And they have owned the paint so far, and the score reflects it.
Yeah, the bully ball tonight has paid dividends. Highly effective down there with the physical play.
And here's Reddish. To the wing on the left. Teague with a clean look. A three-pointer off the mark. And so it's Chicago. 13 points up at the end of the period. They've got a unique upbringing for Clint Capella. Spent years in a welfare orphanage.
Even as a kid, I wasn't even dreaming about that far. I would say that's even past my dreams. I mean, now I'm just living the moment, trying to work hard as I can, and just enjoy the present. Enjoy the present.
Justin and Chicago ends up going with the new group. The Bulls leading by 15. White and Levine team up in the backcourt. G out there with Wendell Carter. And it's Porter in at the 3 slot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
Yeah, the other team a bit concerned here. They're trailing, and the lead seems to be growing.
Picked away. And here we go. The Bulls fast break. White's running. Atlanta with the rebound.
And even though he didn't get a piece of that shot, you love the pressure he puts on the shooter.
Yeah, that's the kind of energy that you want to see on every possession throughout the game.
Porter, no luck. The Hawks trail by 17. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hi, Kevin. Well, D in that last outing against the Raptors put on a show. He added 33 points, and as he always seems to do, piled up rebound after rebound. It's rare to see any player put up numbers like that. It's likely a game he'll always remember. Kevin?
David, we appreciate the update. Greg, we'll see if he can keep rolling here tonight.
Yeah, and that's the rub. When he's in rhythm, he can carry your team across the line.
And you want to see him make sure that the teammates are also involved in what they're doing, especially if he draws that much attention.
Shot clock at 3. Here's Reddish. Off the left rim and out.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
And Labissiere sends it back. Pass to Reddish. They need this. The shot, no good. So the Bulls will take it the other way. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to the Raptors.
I mean, in the modern era, you have to be able to stretch the floor, or you're going to struggle.
Yeah, the best way to make it hard on teams is continue your motion, and their motion on the perimeter just wasn't good enough. That ended up costing them.
The Bulls leading by 19 points. Porter kicks to Levine. With the shot. And the Bulls with another miss.
Time for some consideration in the passing category, maybe, Kevin. The shot is just not on. Get somebody else going.
To the middle.
And the pass there floated it up to the precise spot it needed to be.
And no messing around on the finish. He powers it through.
John Collins, an amazing young talent in this league, one of the best run and jump athletes that we have at that position. So fluid out there, gets out in transition, and that's where this Hawks team can really show its young talent.
Atlanta calls timeout.
Yeah, his shot is just not there tonight, guys, and instead of trying to shoot himself out of the slump, maybe he needs to start moving the ball around and creating for his teammates.
Chicago making a switch here. Hutchison's checked in. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Jeff Teague, he's checked in for Reddish. And it's that quick second and third jump capability for Collins, Brent, that really stands out.
Makes you really tough to box out. You understand not only where your teammate's shot might miss, but your own shot on the inside. And John Collins can read where it's coming off the rim, get to the ball, get right back up and score.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
Yeah, the coach pretty smart for zoning in on him and giving him opportunities to stay with that confident play.
Here's D, and he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
And he has his fingerprints all over this first half. He is just shooting it so efficiently.
Pass to Labissiere. Bembry kicks to T. Chicago grabs the miss. D's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Outside, Levine. Here's D. Boom, he jams it straight down.
I love the unselfishness, and you know coaches do as well.
Well, not just coach, but you can see it in the teammates, the way that they look at him. They appreciate it when he shares the ball like that.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk. And so it's the Chicago Bulls closing out the quarter with a... And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. We're seeing tremendous gameplay from D.
In those first 2 quarters, he was pretty much an automatic bucket getter if he got it down low on the block.
Yeah, we'll see if the double teams start to come here in the second half to make them adjust offensively, but he's going to keep going at it.
Checking out the group for Lloyd Pierce to start the second half. Hunter at the 3 with Collins at the 4. Bembry out there with Teague, and it's Capella in at center. Teague the pass to Collins. There's Bembry, guarded by Porter. Passes it to Hunter. There's the triple. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on DeAndre Bembry. That'll be his second foul of the game. The Bulls leading by 22.
And speeding up the offense, something the Hawks began last season.
It was interesting for the Hawks kind of zigging while everybody's zagging as they made it a priority to get to the offensive glass, along with tons more field goal attempts in their offense, and that's been giving some defenses fits.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
Teague against White. Outside Teague. That's tipped.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
White, good.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
Teague the pass to Collins. Down low. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's on Zach LaVine.
Just staying aggressive right now. John Collins putting some tremendous pressure on the defense.
Well, we hear this all the time. Good defense beats good offense. Do you think that's true?
I don't know how defense scores. In today's game, seeing the juggernauts and seeing what we've seen, Kevin, quite frankly, as some of the best offensive teams, not only in the last 5 years, but in the history of the league, around the Houston Rockets and what the Golden State Warriors have been able to do. It's about equipping your team defensively to be able to stop that stylistically, but certainly every coach will say it comes down to defense because that is something you can control.
Teague can't hit.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often. Yeah, letting it rip. They're just having fun right now.
Yeah, some of these nights you got to enjoy yourself. Not too much at the expense of the other team, but right now this team is balling.
Outside, Jones. He kicks to Collins. Got a piece of it. And stolen by White. Here's Levine. And then Levine with the jam.
And everything is dropping for them. Terrific second half run.
Well, with the confidence growing, that's one thing, but they seem to be getting more intense, and that's helping the quality of their play here.
Inside. And there's Collins on the assist by Teague. 19 points for John Collins.
Well, there it is. 0 of 3 to start the half, and finally something finds its way through the net.
Levine finds Porter. D passes to White. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. D, marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
At this point, I don't know what you can do to slow this team down.
Well, nothing that they're doing seems to be making an impact. And there are some nights where you just run out of options, whether it's by personnel or by tactic. Team starts the second half missing 4 of 5 shots. When does the coach possibly call a timeout and reiterate what he talked about at halftime?
Here's Teague. Drops in the breakaway layup. Teague's got his second basket.
And once again, Jeff Teague getting space in transition can result in plays like that. That's going to hurt.
And he lobs it up toward the rim. Lobbed up there for Collins. Stolen by Markkanen. For 3, Levine. Down through the hoop it goes. That's his 5th make on 9 shots from the floor.
Oh, great ball movement there.
And there's the pass to Bembry. Now, here's Hunter. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. 5 to shoot. Back to Jones. The Hawks need to get off a shot here. Shoots over White. Teague can't hit.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
And there it is for him. Levine's got 13.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Teague kicks to Bembry. Ball's knocked loose. Now White. He's got 9. It's good. Levine's got 9 points in the quarter.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
And that's a foul called on Lauri Markkanen. That is his.
At the line for the Bulls. 1 shot. Mind the lane. Mind the lane. 1 shot.
.52 seconds left here in the 4th quarter.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Bulls.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And I think a great job in positioning themselves for the W here. It's win number 21 on the season.
And in a 3-game season series, they take the first 2, and certainly they've had the edge in this matchup.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for D.
Now, this was a showcase night of his skills offensively.
They've got Thomas Sadaransky. Murray out there with deep. Then there's Valentine. And it's Cornette in at the center. That's the 5 in the game for Chicago. And so Chicago takes this one and by a big margin. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense. Potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
Thank you for...
Hey, Shaq here. I appreciate the double-double effort tonight. Aggressive on the glass and scoring the rock. Talk about your mindset coming in.
I think collectively, we were all on the same page, man. We knew it was going to be a physical battle on the boards and in the paint, that everyone was going to have to chip in a little extra. I just put my head down and tried to keep up my end of the bargain, you know what I'm saying? And fortunately, my teammates did likewise, and we came away with that big W.
It's all about you, baby.
Okay, so how do you think that one went?
Give it a solid B minus.
B minus? Oh, come on, man. He was great. He had some really interesting insights.
It wasn't his fault. You gotta up the spice level of your questions, bro. Where's the heat?
Okay, I'm gonna work on that one. And thanks for your honest feedback. Appreciate it.
Rank up the heat, baby!
You guys ready to hammer out this deal?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Here's what they're starting with. Fantastic. Looking forward to a long and healthy relationship.
Me too, man.
Thanks, Chad.
You're welcome. See y'all later, all right?
All right.